All right. We are live, and we've got a fun little project to work on at the moment. So this is some code that we saw on Twitter last night, and we're going to give it our best shot at figuring out what this is. So my Hoon experience level is about 2, which is to say, if I can get through one more week and a half of Hoon School, I will be an official Hoon School graduate. But we have a Hoon School instructor on the line. We also have, let's say, we have Mark. Oh, wonderful. Mark, we are going through this code, and I have a feeling you have an idea about what it does. So feel free to jump in here too.
Oh, this is lovely. No, I'm gonna just sit back and witness this.
Okay, good. All right, this is even better. So let's get started though. So we know this is opening a wet gate, and what we know about wet gates, or at least what I know about them, is very little, but that they preserve the type of the thing that's coming in. So in this case, we've got N and then the type definition. So Rabsif, why don't you take it from there?
Yeah, so then you have a tisgar, which is composing 2 expressions. The 2 expressions are going to be 4 through 8 and 9 through the end.
Right here.
No, so that's going to give us the bunt value for the face in, and I think that the bunt value is going to be of the type noun, which is weird. And this is what Christian was saying, as it being sort of redundant because it's a wet gate, so it already takes a noun, and I think it's going to bunt to the value of 0. And then line 3, you have the tisgar.
Yeah.
Where it says compose 2 expressions in order as opposed to tisgal. So the first one will be the trap formed at line 4.
Is that
and then the second one, yeah.
It's a different kind of trap than the one I'm used to?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the difference is there, but they both are traps with one arm called buck. It might be, Bardock might be a wet trap. Then 9 is also a core of some type. I don't remember what. Let me see here.
Yeah, but you've got 2 atoms in.
That's a gate with a custom sample, and then
this is the custom sample right here.
Yeah, no, I think the custom sample is that cell of pat. Yeah, let's see. I need to know what com does.
I think com kind of it's commonly, I think, used with
or mic rather.
Yeah, sorry.
We're saying it's commonly used with. Sorry, I interrupted you.
With like currying, and it's like applying something like over and over. It's like where you like keep. I think
it says Mic takes a spec and a hoon, and so the spec is going to be that cell, and it normalizes with a mold asserting a fixed point. I don't know what that means.
Oh, that's.
I'm thinking. Cool. Oh, this is pretty.
All right. Did my annotation get? Is this correct, Rapsif? So it's taking in a noun and setting it to the bunt value. Is that what we're assuming?
I think so.
But we're not sure why you need a wet gate to do that.
You wouldn't,
because it's redundant.
I don't know that it matters. Yeah.
All right, and then this one is spoiler. It's not exactly correct.
Oh, the hoon isn't, or what we're saying? Which one?
There's no question that the hoon here is just off the wall, insane. What you're saying about it isn't exactly correct.
Okay.
All right. Well, we'll save the spoilers for the end. Just let us struggle here because that's the point. Okay. So this one here is. Say this. The
difference between bar dot and bar hep is that bar dot doesn't immediately call it.
Doesn't immediately call buck?
Yeah, so it's just like I think it just basically like injects like another like buck arm into the battery.
So that explains the tisgal, because what it's doing is it's creating the arm, which is lines 5 through 9, to then be called later on in the core that is lines 10 through 13, probably by that line 11 there, right?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
In light of this, or
No, just by the wing notation.
yeah.
Let's see, barcode. So wait, like, is that saying like not what the current subject evaluates to? I mean, I guess, right?
If whatever that arm is, 5 through 9, gives us either a yes or a no, it would be the inverse of that?
Right.
Or no? I don't know.
I think that's right, yeah. Yeah, because, yeah, so I understand line 10. I mean, let's see, let me remind myself what golf is. I know spun is one of like the stateful list operations. Golf is range inclusive, so.
From dot to whatever happens on the right-hand side there.
Are you looking at 11?
Oh, golf produces like a range.
Yeah, you can use golf to make like a list between two values, but I don't understand what 9 is at all.
What 9? So 9, I don't know what the dot is doing. Mark, what can you help me with what that dot is doing? I've never seen like dot parentheses before, I don't think. Like dot.
Right here on line 9 or line 11?
Yeah, line 9.
Oh, so this is just another form of the shorthand for evaluate with changes, which should be sentis or sencat.
Oh, yeah, that's obvious. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Like, do you get that? You guys get that? So it's like, like how when you it's like you might use like sentis.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you're just basically like, you're saying like this, and then you're like, replace like and this with something else. So
and the dot is subject there.
Yeah. So you're just you're just essentially switching the head of the subject.
So this is like on recursion where you call buck with changes, only you're calling the subject with changes here.
Yeah. But then like the goofy thing is then like that's like evaluated relative to
the thing above it.
Oh yeah, yeah. So it's like
it wants something out of the cell of sig n at the end there, and it's saying to tell you what to evaluate from n, you have to do this. Is it tail is equal to yes or no based on whether the head is equal to the tail?
Something like that. Like, so it's basically like you put in, if n is like basically like anything but if n is like anything but 1, if basically n is anything but 1, it'll fail. Because
why
like
1?
Or no, I wouldn't fail. It would be false. It like the what that the equals would evaluate to, the tis would be nil. It would evaluate to nil, except in the case where n is 1, because you've got like sig, like because you got the tick n,
Mm-hmm.
like it would be like sig, which is like equal to 1, and then it'll be whatever n is. So it'll only be equal if n is 1.
Sig is equal to 1?
No, if n, yeah, because Booleans are backwards in here because they are.
Oh.
It's a very controversial design choice that
you're correct.
Lots of people getting mad at the alienist tune.
What's this doing?
Post this code in chat so that I can write it on my screen too, if you don't mind.
Yeah, and yeah, okay, sure. Let's see here.
I do like your Sublime Text tabs there. That's good stuff.
So something that I definitely want to understand is like one is like dot cat dot. I don't understand.
Yeah, this right here.
Yeah.
Is that a type? No.
I've seen that done before when people were screwing around.
But what does that do?
I have no idea what that does, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, Raps, now that you've got it here, you're going to be the one responsible for running this once we actually try to do something with it.
Okay. Well, .cat is load from the Arvo namespace with the fake instruction knock12.
Oh. What's knock 12?
Knock has no instruction 12. Knock12 loads from a typed immutable namespace defined by its virtual context.
Well, yeah, but that's just scrying. I don't think that's what's happening here. That wouldn't make sense. Like knock12 is just like the scry namespace. So it's like when it's evaluating knock and it hits like that knock12, it like looks up like the value from the namespace.
Okay.
And you're going to do some...
Well, what's...
The other thing is I didn't know comma by itself did anything. I always thought that comma basically turned.
This?
Yeah, I thought commas basically turned those things basically created a mold from and he just yeah, I just know it kind of creates a mold. It's a common pattern in and it makes explicit the fact that you're using.
What's the mul PAM2 doing?
Oh, so comma by itself. So it looks like there's not anything. There's not a difference between comma and dot, actually. Am I right with this? Mark, is the comma and the mule just really dot? It's just the current subject.
Well, it seems to evaluate to the same thing. Yeah, I was kind of surprised by this. I have to try it out just now, and it just by itself it evaluates to the same thing. I wonder if this is a side effect of how we have now that type notation and value notation are the same. You can use comma to toggle the parser between the two modes. And I wonder if there's some edge case in the parser. I was if we see a comma, that means some hoon follows, but it defaults back to the subject for some reason. I'm really not sure why comma would evaluate to the subject otherwise.
Wait, so what's the case that it's something else?
I was saying that you use comma to toggle between type and value parsing modes.
Right.
And maybe there's a detail in the implementation there where if it doesn't get any follow-up hoon code like it does here, then it just gives you the subject somehow. But that's just wild guessing on my part. This could also be part of some legacy syntax that I never was made aware of.
Yeah.
How the hell did this guy figure it out then? Sorry.
then I guess like the last thing that I would want to know is like
Oh, actually,
coal.
yeah, I was trying to like run that last bit of the code here because it looked very suspicious to me. And the original code that was posted doesn't have a space between the comma and the coal there.
Mm.
The original.
Okay.
I mean, was that a transcription error on my part? Is that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
Seems
that's
like-
just. It was posted as an image.
That's because we hold only one argument.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay. So that was my fault.
No worries. What's the PAM? I for PAM 2. That's the like. Is that like a way to like index into the subject? So it's kind of like doing.
I don't know. I need to get up the cheat sheet. Hold on.
I think so.
You're not thinking of like the lust to notation, are you?
No, it's like, but it's like something similar. Like there's like a few of those. It's like
Okay.
one of them with like a zap that like it's like indexing into like a list.
In the subject.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So like 2 becomes like it's like less 6 or whatever.
Do you think the cat dot, the like dot cat dot isn't saying skip
Oh.
the current subject and go to the other subject?
No, okay, so the dot cat dot. So like basically something cat something is like the cell of the two things.
Oh, right.
And so it's just like the subject like twice.
And it's composing it to inverted, so it would be whatever that second line is twice in a cell.
Mm. No, what do you mean? I'm sorry.
Like the subject at line 12, because of the Tisgar, or Tisgal rather, is line 13.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. My guess, if I were to like make like a quick guess, it either prints like a bunch of falses or a bunch of or a bunch of twos, or maybe just one or none, or although I still need to think a bit more.
So I know what flop does. What does spun and golf do?
Golf produces a range, and then spun is like one of like the stateful stateful list operations.
Takes a gate to a list with state, accepts a list A and a gate B, which is what we... So golf is making us the list out of the next line, and then the gate is the line beneath that?
Oh, this is the list, and then this is the gate.
Well, golf produces a list between two values.
Oh.
I think that's right. I think line 9 must produce a list.
But you said golf creates a list of two values.
Oh yeah, it must. Sorry, you're right. It must
Be a
produce
value.
two values.
But you're going
Yeah.
to get a list at the end of that which then you're going to do something with here. Like here.
I don't know.
Like the second thing in the list? Or the third, or is it the I can't remember.
Is Lus Skull Lus is
Let's call Cole.
no.
No.
Lus Skull Lus is the sample of Gates, right?
Let's see. The head.
I think so. No.
Oh, that's the tail. The head of the tail. The tail. I always forget how to do wing notation. I have real trouble with it. Do you read it from the inside out?
What like notation?
Wing notation,
Uh,
or whatever it's called, lark notation.
It's like right. It's like right, left, right. It's like you like think of it like a binary tree, like, and then I just think about it like that.
But should you read it from?
You read it left to right, so it's yeah.
Okay.
It's like
Okay.
it's like right, left, right.
Okay.
Oh, another transcription thing looks like.
Well, I'm looking at Spun. Sorry, I might be not where your head is. I'm sorry.
Thanks for double checking, Mark. We're missing a loss. Yeah. Okay. Oh.
Oh. Okay, so Spun is making some sense.
Head becoming whether or not the head is equal to the tail. Let's go for it. This range. I don't understand how line 11 works.
So it's just basically whatever line 12 is. Or I guess like the first part of line 12.
Oh, I've screwed up my line numbering. I meant what's on screen as line 8.
Oh, line 8. Yeah, I'm actually like revisiting that because like I get like the tick in.
But how does it produce a range? Because it looks like to me it's saying take from, okay, so if the subject has its head changed to either a yes or a no, which is what that is happening in the parenthetical there. Then take that from
so
in.
basically what you're gonna get, I think, is like, so basically it's just gonna be like, it's gonna be like 1 or 0 and then 1 or 0 and then n, and then it's only going to be it's going to be, or actually no, it's just always going, yeah, and so it's only going to be 1 if n is, it's only going to be 0, so it's normally 1, but it's 0 if n is 1.
Okay, because 1 is equal to 1. And that would be a yes, which is a Lubian 0. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah. Which
How does
actually,
that work with golf?
so it's basically going to be, it's going to be 1 to n, except in the case of n being 1, in which case it's 0 to 1.
How do you get the 1 or 0 to n from that?
Okay, so because first of all you're doing dot, right? And you're only substituting hef.
Yep.
So you're gonna have n on either side on the right side, right?
Oh. Okay.
And then you're basically just switching the head with like whether or not n is sig, which is 1.
I get it, because the subject with the coal means take the thing on the right as the subject of the expression on the left. And so then okay, that's what was throwing me off. Okay.
Oh, so he says that there's another transcription error on line 11.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, okay. Line 10.
Yeah, I deleted a comment that's on 10 now.
Okay. And so, okay, we got a list and then spun.
Fun's going to apply that list to the gate at the bottom, right? And then our result will be flopped from there.
Yeah. So I get spun now. Do you guys kind of get spun?
Not really.
So
Kind of like turn.
Yeah, it's actually more like maybe like roll. Yeah, it's kind of more like a bit more like roll, sort of like insofar as it's got like memory essentially. But like so it's like it's derived. Spun is derived from, I think, what is it? Spin. Yeah. So spin takes 3 arguments. It takes a list, takes a gate from that takes the item, the type of the items in the list.
Mm-hmm.
And also, yeah, that takes like the head of yeah, sorry. It takes, it's a gate. So yeah, so it takes a list, it takes a piece of initial state, and then the gate basically takes like state and something of like the list item type, and then produces like another thing of state, and then it like rolls down the entire list with that. And so
its end product is the state as modified.
Yeah. And
Okay.
but then the thing which that spun does is it reaches into is like, so like spin takes 3 arguments. It takes it takes like the list, takes like initial state, and then it takes the gate. Spun only takes list and then the gate, and then it just like reaches into like the the default, the bunt of the gate, and reaches into like the tail of it, which is like the second argument, which is the initial state. So it takes the default initial state of the gate, and then just calls spin with that. Oh, to product a new state. So wait, okay. So Oh, okay. So then it. Okay, so actually the gate, I'm wrong. It takes it's from the list item type in the state to like a product type in the new state. Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
right.
I understand that. What do you mean?
Well, so basically, it's like I mean, if you're to like have like sort of if the gate were to have like a type signature, maybe like so you have like a list of type A and a state of type B,
Mhm.
and then you have a gate that takes like a argument of type A and an argument of type B,
Mm-hmm.
where like A is like the list item type and B is the state type, and then outputs like a cell of a list of type C.
Made up of or whatever the gate is doing.
Yeah. So like the left will be like left is like essentially a function of applying so like the gate transforms the state and the list, and then it outputs like a new list, which might be the original same type of list, but could also be transformed, and then like the new states. And so basically, it also transforms the underlying list.
That's weird. But I
Interesting.
think I was following, right? Like, if you've got, well,
And so spawn only returns like the underlying list, or like the resulting list.
the resulting list of whatever the gate is doing to the list and the state.
Yeah.
So we would need to know those two things as well.
Yes, that is right. And yeah.
Like, what's the state?
So the state is, well, it would be that's actually kind of easy. It would be it looks like.
Is it?
So note that the gate you're plugging in is it's just like a cell of atoms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just the bunt value of a cell of atoms, right?
Right.
I don't understand how the mic is being used there.
So
Wait, maybe it's
mick is like it's kind of like actually no, that's a good question.
I'm thinking like from the examples, it looks like it takes something as its second argument and normalizes it to the first argument if it can. So is it taking line 10 and normalizing that into a cell of atoms that is then the sample for...
I mean, the zap-tiz dot is kind of fucked up to me. That doesn't make any sense. Like, isn't like tiz supposed to be a binary rune?
Zaptiz is make the knock formula for a Hoon expressions.
Oh, that's what zap-tiz does?
So it's make the knock formula for the Hoon expression subject, which is that just 0, 1? Because isn't 0, 1 like request the memory at slot 1, which is the subject? This is really hard.
Well, if we can do it, we can get a planet. So
Nice.
let's keep going.
I really don't get the zap-tiz dot.
So
I gotta look at the knock expression.
it is Zaptiz dot right here.
I need a dojo up. I think we could test that in dojo. Like I should be able to just do zaptiz pal.par
Okay,
in dojo.
I'm gonna transfer it over to you,
0-1.
and you'll be the presenter. Sound good, Rapson?
Me?
Yep.
I can do that.
Yeah, once you get up into dojo, because I think we're gonna make a little bit more progress if we can start to dissect this a little bit. Oh, we got a hint. We got a hint.
I'm pulling it up. Also, I'm pulling up dojo here.
So Luke also says the .ket dot is cute too. The only thing I'm not happy with is the zaptiz dot produces different results in dojo versus a naked generator due to hinting.
Maybe we take Joe's hint.
For dojo?
Yeah.
Okay, so Joe's hint is you need zap dot zap his dot.
What's zap dot do?
It just turns off stack
And
trace.
Luke says, yeah, there must be a way. Okay.
What?
Okay.
All right, hold on 1 sec.
Okay.
Make sure I don't have anything
Oh,
damning on screen either. If we're recording.
We are. And we gotta get close to Wick Dev's 3-hour bug session, so hope you guys blocked off your calendar.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What do I present? Okay.
I watched a good chunk of that. It was, and then I went and like tested it. I'm like, wow, Mug really is broken. Mark, how widespread do you think like the consequences of that Mug bug is?
All right.
Widespread the consequences
Am I
of that
sharing my
bug.
screen yet or no?
Yeah, call it like how many things could we are like maybe
Oh my God,
potentially
come on.
like secretly broken because of that?
Yep. We can see your email. Maybe
Yeah,
that's not
I
the one
know,
you
and it
wanted.
won't close. I can't get it to close. Never mind that for just a second. Come on, close. Outlook is such a piece of shit.
To answer your
I-
question, Christian, Philip did talk about this a little bit in his stream already. The case where the bug is, or it's like all the cell is symmetrical, isn't super common, but it's like common enough in like specific cases where it's like, oh, some maps are like stored very unbalanced, and like our hash tables are like not being very useful because of all these collisions. And like the consequences are, well, we already don't depend on Mug as being like guaranteed unique or anything, because it's only like so many bits, and like, we explicitly call it out as being non-cryptographic hash. And so like it's fine, but we will still need to we'll still want to change it, and that's like a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
Okay, Rabs, if you can make your dojo a little bit bigger, are you gonna do it on your ship?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, 0-1. That's what I was thinking. So that's return the knock formula at, or doing the knock formula of the subject just returns the position 1 memory function, if that makes sense. How do I make this bigger?
Oh yeah, yeah. I haven't followed up on those knock sessions yet, so I'm kind of slow.
Maybe like
They were really good.
I know they looked really good. It's gonna be like one of the first things I do like next week. I think once my
Maybe
life is
control
back.
less. That might make
I
the
got
fun
it.
bigger. Yeah.
There we go. So yeah, so this, where is it? This here
Yeah.
is saying, give us the tail of the head of the knock form. The tail of the head. No, the tail of the tail. What
The
would
last value in the list?
that doesn't make sense. Or is it? It's not evaluating 01.
Okay.
Is it?
Okay. I can say for rather certainly that the PAM is like the nth element of the list.
It's the what of the list?
Nth element of the list.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Although probably my guess is it probably doesn't like actually have to be a list. Doesn't even really have to like be like null terminated like a list.
Mm. And so then that should be a cell sample for mul to multiply, right?
Yeah. I would guess it fails if it's it fails if there's. So yeah, it doesn't have to be null terminated. It's just like you can't like if it's like a tuple and like not null terminated and you try to fetch like the end, it'll fail because it's like it's grabbing like head basically that many times, and then like, it's like if you have a null, it's just it can't grab the head because you're at an atom.
Gotcha. They do produce the same thing in Dojo. I'm a little confused by that.
It might be different in the as a generator.
Oh, Mark got a comment there, Rapsif. Luke suggests the fix is that just the zap dot without the Luscar.
That makes sense.
Just the zap dot without
Sort
the
of.
Luscar.
Yeah, just get rid of and Cole there too. Yeah.
Okay.
So then
it really just wants this.
Well, he says without Luscar Cole. Just zap dot. Yeah.
Which is equal to zap dot of the subject is equal to the cell 01. Where are you guys? I can't find
it's just in the chat.
No, I know. Yeah. I lost the window on which I was sharing this. There we go.
Obfuscated Huntard. No, or
Oh, okay. So what we're saying is that in a naked generator, this would produce what this produces in the dojo. I think that's what I'm hearing.
Well, I mean, it's not no. Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so then this expression is saying normalize this to a cell of atoms.
Oh, look who we got, guys.
Who's in here?
Who's in here? It's Luke.
Oh, okay.
So you can also continue to struggle.
So I think the expression here is this.
Oh, I heard you guys were going through my code.
Yes, we are.
Hey.
We really wanted that planet.
Yeah, maybe I should have offered more. I don't know.
This is just this.
Actually, I think I should have offered less because really I wanted like the pro Hooners to try and decipher it. And I felt like if I just offered one planet, then they might not go for it and let like a newbie try.
Okay, Christian, I got something here. I think this creates list, and then the spun gets the argument of whatever this list is with this gate with the subject as 0, 1.
Yeah, that makes sense. But and yeah, and then yeah, and
This
so
is
then
like the state, right?
I forget which one's what. Oh yeah, the 1's the state, and then the 0 is like
The list value, or
don't
what will
worry.
happen.
Yeah, but like it doesn't matter what the 0 is like. It doesn't matter that it's 0, basically.
Right. Oh, so I was wrong entirely. This is the first expression that is composed, and this is the second expression that's composed here.
Oh.
So I still don't know what this does. Dot cat.
Um.
I mean, I can try it in Dojo and see what it does.
No, because that is weird. Because like, I mean, I'm pretty sure that like that bar coal, like I think the mic is binary, so that should only fill out the subject of the bar coal. Like there's, you know what I mean? It's only like the subject. It's not like the core, basically.
It's
like
the sample, right?
Yeah, it's a sample. It's not the battery, or like yeah.
What are you saying is wrong then? I'm not sure I'm tracking.
Well, I think that so I think only like the coal mule is like the what everything what it's like I think put in like I think the Tivgall on I think 25 and 26 should be moved up, and then you should like line break 26.
Okay. Like this?
Or go line break in the middle of 25. Like I think the mall belongs like with the Tivgall and like everything.
And you think this is
Yeah, I think the coal is the only thing. Like the initial Tivgar, I think like that the coal mule goes with that.
the initial Tivgar. Okay. So you think this is everything to
Yeah, it kind of has to be, but like because as we said, like the mic is binary and like only fills out the sample of bar coal.
Oh, you're right, because there would be nothing. I see what you're saying. There's nothing left for the gate to do. There is no instruction for the gate if you did it the way that I said.
Right, and so then.
All right, I'll load it. Oop, I didn't mean to do that. There's a fake Zod. I have. Perfect. I gotta try this. I just want to see what it does. That just called the. Oh, it's right. We decided that this is the cell of the subject.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just this is a cell.
No. Well,
Like it's a cell of two of those is what I mean, like this.
Oh yeah.
Wherever Pam is, there it is.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
Okay.
So
So then, what does mule do? Hyped virtual. I don't know what that means.
Oh yeah, you're gonna like this one.
Oh yeah.
oh, I get no. Yeah, this mule is pretty simple. Basically, it's just like tries to call some him, and like if it doesn't work, like it fails, then like
So it's calling this, right? It must be.
yeah. I forget exactly what the return is, but it's basically a way where like you want to like call something that might crash, but you don't like want to actually crash.
That's obnoxious. So the mule at the bottom must be calling the whole of the trap above.
Probably.
What is
Yeah.
coal?
I mean, well, and the whole hep coal buck part is kind of weird.
Okay, so
I mean, I need to learn not. Like, I don't know, like, the axis position, the standard axis positions, like, relative to cores very well, and, like, gates.
yeah, it's weird. You should check out. So this notation is shorthand for Mick Cole, which calls binary function as an array. Where's the binary function? That would take more than one thing. Oh, so it's calling mule with more than one thing here. Let's see an example of mid-call. So like, okay. I'm cool.
But mule isn't binary, is it? To begin with. Is it?
Mule kicks a trap, producing its results. Well, the trap would be one or.
Oh yeah, but what's the point of the coal if it's like not binary? Is it like it's just called normally? I mean,
Let's see what.
because like what you do is it's like
Look, that works. That's so stupid. Look at this. So that's what it does.
Well, yeah, but like add is binary, so that makes sense because like the like what if you put in like something that took like didn't take
Like
I guess
flop?
like because like cores are technically cells, like maybe that kind of works.
Look at that. That flop is non-binary, right? It's unary, or whatever you call singular.
Oh, yeah.
Why does it do that, though? I don't know.
Yeah, that's so. I mean, it looks like when you're doing like a binary, you only have one. Like it only applies at once. Yeah, that's really fucked up.
But that's blowing my mind. Like, I have no idea why it would do that.
I bet it depends on like what it desugar, like the what
Yeah,
it technically desugars too.
I got it here. If we want to look at it, I can't read this though.
Let me see. I'm looking on my phone. It's stressful. I need to smoke a cigarette.
Okay, so if the head of mud, which is mute, the tack is a trap, generally producing a list of tanks. Huh.
Yeah, I think there's like this isn't implemented right. Because like or oh, I see. Because like basically the final one, you just I think with the final
If the head of mud, which is mute, the tack, which is the trap, is buck
what's
pan.
send hap?
Send hap?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the Mick Cole. I'm just trying to understand why it is that way. And I think this is just like wrong somewhere. Like the expands to like regular form. Send hap. I mean, no, I guess like that gets transformed. Yeah, no, I guess. Yeah, yes, I guess like send hap in short form, like is basically NRE, right? Do you like send hap pal like
My
1,
monitor
2?
just went out for a second there. Hold on a second. Are you still seeing the screen with my browsers up?
Yep.
Okay. What'd you want? Send hep what?
Like send hap like one. Send hap like no in print with a short form with parentheses. Send hap pal add 1, 2. Oh no, I meant pals in left parenthesis.
Oh yeah. I mean,
1 space 2.
yeah, I think I have to put it in. Can't get it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I was like looking at the docs and it doesn't look quite right. So I think they must like desugar some other way. But it can't desugar the way that it's saying that it's desugaring because then like if it's not if it's not a cell basically it'll break.
Yeah, and yet the short form of send hep allows that.
So anyway, I that's kind of a digression, I'm sorry. But
That's really interesting. I actually don't know why that would be.
might like
That must mean
it or something.
Yeah, because that must mean that this isn't using the same code as this, right?
I mean, it's basically the same. It still does like the main thing that it's meant for, which is like, you know, applying a binary operation like upon itself multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so I think like,
Just going.
yeah, okay, so the screwy thing would be exactly that, like,
Is that right?
yeah.
Because we said com gives you just the subject.
Yeah.
Weird. Yeah. So okay, so what's our arm buck is this. And we want the tail of it, which is
Or the head.
the head, sorry. And we think this is going to produce, so it's going to be the head of this cell, right? Because this is what the eventual product of buck would be.
No, because that's the body of.
Oh, right. We'd get a list out of flop from this being part of the gate. I'm sorry.
So I guess like what? But I guess we still haven't figured out exactly how that plays into spun.
Yeah. Well, because I think okay. So if we want to do this, let's identify what this list is and then try and write it out. I can't figure out for the life of me. Well, you said that this list should be the depth of either like 0 to 1 or 1 to 1.
Yeah. 0 to 1 or 1 to n. If n is 1, then 0 to 1. Otherwise, it's 1 to n.
Okay. So let's suppose the case where it's 0 to 1, because that would be the easiest, I would think. Then we have to apply this gate to it with a sample of 1. And it's going to multiply. You said the PAM2 takes from position 2?
It's basically Luscall.
Let's go.
So it's like
The head of the tail. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is actually this. That would be this. So it would take 1.
So Luscall is the sample. So PAM2 actually for gates is just like the sample.
How would spun use this gate? Because we have this list here that it's getting, and then we have this gate here, and I don't see where the gate uses anything from the list to do its spinning.
Because of the mall. So like PAM2 is going to be the sample. So it's like it's like the first argument is going to be the first argument is going to be the head.
Fuck, hold on.
So the first argument is going to be the thing in the list, like that element of the list.
Oh, just by default?
Yeah,
So, like,
yeah. And then the second is going to be like the
like that?
But with the implicit head of list, so that's actually going to be the sample. So PAM2, basically PAM2, like relative to like a gate, is just like when you're inside of a gate, is just a sample of the gate because it's a list call. You see what I mean? Because
I do, but that would just be multiply. Okay, so if the sample of this gate is 01, this would just be like multiply
multiplying them
1.
together, and then you're getting a cell of that product.
Multiplying what together?
The sample.
And the values in the sample?
Yeah. Which is a cell, remember? Because we got the mic thing going on.
Yeah.
So basically we get 2 atoms as the sample. We just like multiply them together.
That would be 0.
Well, no, not because like the default value is 0, 1, right?
Right.
I guess that would be 0.
Or is it, maybe I've misinterpreted
Oh,
this.
no, it's not going to be 0. It's not going to be 0. The reason why it's not going to be 0 is it's only going to be 0 in case n is 1. So if n is 1, then it's 0. Because that's going to be because what we're talking about is like the list. The list is what's going to be fed in as the head. Like the elements of the list are going to be fed into the head. And so only in the case that it's 1, in which case the range is 0, 1, will you have it to be 0, 1.
So you're saying that otherwise this is produce and knock formula for the subject. I'm confused there.
I'm going to go out on a limb and just guess that this is factorial.
Wait, you guys didn't try running this before you tried picking it apart?
No.
Oh, man. You gotta study it empirically.
I can run it real quick.
I'm going to go out on a limb and just say that it's factorial. It's looking and feeling kind of like factorial.
Do you get all my errors up?
Yeah, I think. We might have to take that Lusgar out.
Oh yeah, you're going to have to do that.
It isn't like this. Okay, so.
Oh, you're gonna have to get rid of that space in the mule.
Oh yeah.
The comace to or comace.
Thank you.
Yeah, comace or comace coal. There we go.
So it doesn't like it there. So then, what did we have to change this to? We want it to zap.pal zaptiz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Same mistake. Sorry, I should take that out.
Give it 1 first. Okay.
Oh look, it's factorial. I think.
Wait a minute. 4 times 3, 12 times 2. Yeah, it is. Nice work. How did you figure that out?
I think it's an intuition.
It was kind of an intuition because I still don't quite. I think the one thing that I'm still missing is the mule to some extent, but I mean I guess like yeah, like what is.
I wish I could understand how this. The spun must take whatever you put in as n, and it creates a list between 1 and n, and then this gate multiplies So the right-hand side of this gate must be the product that is produced each time as you apply the list to it. So it multiplies the product times whatever value you are on in the list now, right? Like 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 or whatever.
Right.
Okay.
Right, because you end up with like that cell each time, but then you're
I don't really understand how this does that. I kind of get it, but also kind of don't.
So I mean, basically, so a thing to note is that what spin does is like the when you basically apply the gate with an item from the list and like the last piece of state, and then you get a cell, which is basically like what the new list we're constructing is. Like the head is the new list that we're constructing, and then the tail is like the state that we are keeping. But
and that's
then
where you keep track of what's multiplied.
The spawn throws away the state. Wait, yeah. Actually no, that's confusing me now.
Well, it's the state that eventually gets returned, right? Or no, it's a list of the. No.
If Spun gets the list. So what does pair do? It's just it's typing it as a pair. Never mind. How does it know? Okay. So if this is the sample that it gets, a cell of NA.
Oh, I get it now. I get the whole thing now. Oh my God.
Okay. Walk us through it.
Okay, so I mean, maybe keep where you're going because that's where your understanding is working.
So this A that's incrementing each time is becoming the P here. And the N is the value from the list. So Spun is it's putting in. So this one's kind of dumb because it's not actually using A on N at all. It just has some change to the value A, and it's doing a cell of the value A and each item from the list. So this one, and this one makes more sense because it's starting with A. How does A start as? Snag A1. So snag, or from L rather. Oh, okay, so this is L. And it's spinning, so it's A is 0. We're making a cell of snagging A from L and N, which is this. So A still doesn't actually do anything to it here. So this is kind of a weird example. Oh no, it does. I guess A we're using that to draw from Limo up here. So then like the first time through it's take 0 from L and combine it with the value from the cell here, 4. Yeah, I kind of get what's happening here. It'd be nice if these examples had operations where something from the state of the gate did something to the list. Like if maybe that's just not how it works.
What's Limo do again?
It just creates a list.
I mean, what's messing with me is like I'm like looking at it in whom.whom.
Yeah.
It looks like it flops like the list that it's creating on the left. But then Yeah. Which this just doesn't make any sense now. Let me just do something. Fun. I'm looking at spin, by the way. It's like to understand spun. Spin. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, 0 is yes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so I get this line now. So like if this is sig in, sig is equal to 0. And so it's saying if n is equal to 0, then
No, sig is equal to 1.
is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't understand this.
Well, so it's just basically if it's like equal to 1, then it's 0 to 1. But then if it's like not equal to 1,
Then it's 1 to n?
Yeah. Which means probably that it'd break with you plug in 0. But
Let's see. Yeah, it breaks. Oh no, there we go. It worked. It just is taking a while. I don't really understand how that works. All right.
what about
Oh, so okay, so if it's like 5
It'll just be 5.
and n is 1, so it's going to give us so gulf that like is going to give us the list of 1 through 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is 0, 1.
Oh, and then you're flopping. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you gotta turn it around.
After you do the spun, though.
Oh, now it makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. I think.
Oh, that's not going to work.
Yeah, I get this now. I'm confident now. It took a
Okay.
while.
Tell me. I think I get how this works, sort of. But tell me how this creates the new cells. I know that it would be like you'd have this list here that's this, so we can replace that with
Right.
this.
So the mul is basically going to multiply. So mul is going to multiply the samples, the two pieces of the sample together, right? And so like say like before we got like it's going to start out with it's going to start out with 1 because we use the bar cult, right? It reaches into like the right to like initialize. For the first like the first thing that, so like spun, like the first thing that's going to plug in is like the default sample, or like basically the tail of the default sample.
Mm-hmm.
Which is going to be 1 because of the zap dot, zap tis, blah blah.
And then this would be the head would be would it be
The
0?
The head would be the first element in the list.
I don't understand why that is.
Well,
I guess that's where I'm
on
confused.
the first time, the first time that this gate is used, the first time, because the first time is going to be the head, and then the next time is going to be like the next element in the list, and then like the second value will then be the tail of the output of the previous time.
I get that. I guess what I'm saying is I thought this expression here, like this, I thought this would produce the cell would actually produce the cell 0, 1.
It does produce 0, 1, but we're using bar col, right? So bar col, like it basically like infers the types of whatever noun you put in there, and like that becomes like the mold. That's like the mold that is used to like normalize.
Okay, so the values are not. They don't. The 0 that's there doesn't matter for what this multiplication does the first time.
No, it doesn't matter at all because the first thing that we'll plug in is
the first element of the list.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Spun does that.
The second matters because that becomes like the first state that gets plugged in at that point, at that very, at that axis. So the first time you're gonna have 1 there, but then it's like you're always gonna have like 1, 2, 3 because it's factorial, and so it's like the first is gonna be 1, the second time is gonna be 2, second time is gonna be 6, and so on, right?
I kind of get it. And then Spun's doing the work of plugging that in there, right? Spun is what causes this to be the various elements of the list.
Yeah, yeah. And so spun is a derivative of spin. And basically what it ends up doing is it just prints out like spin just cares, it does it gets rid of the state and it just prints out the things which have basically been like the head of the output, right?
Okay.
Because the output of the gate, like the right becomes the state which gets plugged in for the next one, and then like it's producing a list with like the head of the output. Like the tail is becoming the state, and the head's becoming like the new list which is produced.
Okay.
And so basically what like the spun is doing is ends up producing a list of factorials.
Right. How do you get out of it?
Well, and then you flop it, and then you're taking the head of it. And so like basically the comma col is like a diversion. It's a red herring because like that doesn't change anything.
It's really the head of Buck.
Yeah, and then Buck just like basically evaluates that trap, right? And that trap is just that list of factorials.
And what did Mule do again?
Mule just like catches it if it fails. basically.
Oh, so it literally does nothing.
Yeah, like for the most part.
Okay. Maybe it would, like, I wonder if it would, if I like, oh, that's not what I would expect.
And you should see what happens when you just run mule on one of these inputs.
What do you mean? Is that what you meant?
Well, do like mule like bar dot too.
R.2?
Yeah, bar dot like parentheses.
Oh, okay. Like that? I don't understand what that's doing. R dot is I guess that's, we're saying that mule, this is whether or not it crashed, or whether or not it was successful, I guess.
Yeah. Like so like replace the 2 with like zap.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know how that's gotten rid of though, actually. I think that might be the last thing I'm missing.
That's
Is that the secret of the coal mule symbol?
well, let's try it. Oh no, that didn't like that. Didn't like that at all. Fuck.
Oh. Oh. So I think the coal is literally doing not like the coal basically when you use coal with like anything, like I think like it just doesn't even evaluate the gate.
Well, that would make sense because like that's what I'm getting here.
Because
it's not evaluating the gate; it's just giving me a naked gate.
yeah, I can't even double check this. Yeah, no, that's definitely what's happening. Yeah, because I just made a gate that will always crash and like with the coal and it's just it's not doing anything. So basically that's like one giant diversion. Like you might as well have just done like, have coal buck.
Yeah,
Oh,
you can do
why would you have done a lot of this crazy?
You can swap out the mule for the zap. And actually, you're right that it's not even evaluated because if you put in like an unbound face, like you can just type like Z or something or anything that would normally give you like a find face error, and it'll work just fine.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, so it literally just gives you the head of buck.
Oh yeah, because it's just like because it's like it's a macro, it just like completely syntactically disregards it. Like you can just literally put in like just random letters and no face not found here. All right, I understand that.
I don't understand why that happens. So coal is not it's not like Mick coal. This isn't shorthand for Mick coal, or is it?
It is shorthand. It's just like I think the reasoning is like basically if you think about it like sort of as like applying multiple times, like at the last one, it's like you gotta like it only after like you have 2 arguments can you like plug it in. But then it's like if you have 3, it's like Actually, I don't know. I don't know if there's any good reasoning here of why it does that. I feel like there actually probably isn't any good reasoning. That's just like the way that it is.
Oh, but it
Or
does
it might
make
have been,
sense
like,
with our.
very easy. It might have been like just like the easiest way to implement the macro, and that's why it is the way that it is.
I see. And we should have. I thought that this was just like applying it with nothing or something, but it isn't. It's just disregarding whatever function is here and giving you this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then this is the head of the list that is flopped, where the head is the final multiplication product of all those iterations.
Yeah, because it's like the list. It's the list. And so like like basically the outcome is always going to be the same because you have that dot, right? You know, and so like the state that you're feeding in is the same as the list, which is building up.
Yeah, okay.
And so then you flop, and so then it's like, you know, it's like it'll be like 6, 3, 2, 1, right? And then yeah, you got the half cool buck.
Very interesting. I got to work on this part a little bit more because I'm still not perfectly clear on what I'm doing here.
Look at hoon.hoon.
Golf?
No, spun.
Oh,
Well, yeah,
spun.
maybe golf, but yeah, spun and spin, like because spun is built out of spin.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's very cool.
Yeah. Thanks, Luke. That's fun.
Yeah, that was quite the challenge.
And there's more.
Say again?
I'm glad that it provided some intellectual stimulation.
Oh, yeah, man. That was awesome. It's just very difficult. What makes you... Am I right in thinking that you were also in like Hooniverse writing a lot of obfuscated code like that? Or was that somebody else?
I did a bit of like art as well.
That's right. Okay, yeah.
I did
What's
a cool
that called?
like, the shape of a pig. Sounds nice.
You were talking about that being like a challenge to write Python in weird ways, and there's like a name for doing that?
In Perl, there's like
Or
sort of part of like the Perl subculture is something called a JAF, which is obfuscated Perl code that prints a specific string that people would put as like their signature, and like people just came up with more and more ridiculous ways to get Perl to print this thing out. And so that's like sort of where I got started with the obfuscation. I don't think you can really do quite the same amount of obfuscation in him, because Perl is just like that to the max, but it's a fun challenge. And you can arrange it in like nice ASCII diagrams, that sort of thing. So if you like that sort of thing, I did make a channel for it in comp.lang. So if you want to invite to that, I can give that to anyone.
Right on.
All right.
Cool.
Well, we do have one item of business since we since the last spoke, we used transfer from when we called, that actually has it sets the breach value to true, which I didn't know. And anyway, so Dalten breached over the weekend. We didn't know it, so we need to set the management proxy so that we can actually do something about it. So I've got that transaction queued up. I've also got the set spawn proxy queued up, but it has a parameter that I'm not quite sure what it does. It's called prefix, and it's an unsigned integer of 16 bits. My guess is that's the number of things that can be spawned.
I don't know.
But I don't know. Is 65,000 something to something? Is that 16-bit number? Can that fit in there? No, it'd have to be... Yeah.
I did check. Like the multisig is the owner.
Yeah, no, it is. It certainly is. But the only thing we need to do is we need to set a manager so I can go back and set the keys.
Yeah.
What is... I don't know. I hate gas prices. It's like...
I just hate gas.
I can't
But-
understand how much I'm going to spend from the multi-sig wallet because it's just like,
Oh, the wallet, it doesn't do anything from the wallet. It always takes the gas from your address.
no, I can't calculate in advance when I click on confirm and it's like, what would you like your gas limit to be? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't
Just let me
like
know.
not a lot. Is that possible?
Well, you need just enough, but not
Right. Yeah, just enough. That's exactly what I'd like to tell it. There you go. All right. I got my confirmation in, I think. I should have at least. Yeah. Have you told Fabled and Ravenous?
Not specifically, but we were on a meeting together and I mentioned it, so
Cool.
I think they at least know about it. Oh, and did you ever hear anything, Rapsif, from your friend who may or may not be able to incorporate us?
Yeah, he was like, you don't all of the stuff that we want to do is really in the operating agreement, which can be constructed anytime after incorporation. Like, so all of the rules of membership and everything like that can be done in the operating agreement. So we should be able to just incorporate like on LegalZoom or whatever. But he said he'd also do it for free if we really wanted somebody to draft it for us. So I figure I can take a crack at the construction documents and then get those around. I'll have him review it, and then we should be able to just submit them with probably $100 or something like that.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Maybe I can make that a task to do for the next time we meet.
Sounds good.
Sure.
And then we had a problem last time with execution, right, with the gas limit. Is that right?
Sorry?
Just had to like up the gas limit.
Do you have any
yeah.
recollection of what value that might have been?
No. There's also a different function, so.
All right, I'm living large, 500,000.
500,000.
That's the way I roll, man.
I went up to like, I think I went up to like, 500,000 and it just totally screwed me. Like, I still failed. Like, I was like wasted $5. So I'm just honestly like, I'm just like waiting until like I finish like all my contract work before I submit a proposal to claim that way. I just like, I don't have to, I got like one more week of work. I can like wait for my money until then. Like, that way I'm not I have to pay like $20 in transaction fees, only like 10.
Done. Well, it worked. Gas actually used was 147,000, which would have failed because the gas limit was 116,000. So just note to self when you're executing 200,000.
Fair enough.
Six Gwei, that is gas prices these days.
Yeah, how much were you? How much is that in Americans? Like $2, $3?
131 pennies.
Oh, okay, that's not so bad. My transaction was 99 cents to confirm that thing, so pretty close.
Yeah. All right, so I'll get Dalton back up, and then once I figure out what that prefix is, Rapsif, I'll go ahead and put you on as the spawn proxy.
Cool.
Cool. All right. Thanks, everybody. This was a lot of fun. This was a lot of fun. And Luke, thanks for giving us a fun little puzzle. And yeah, stop by anytime.
Yeah, thanks.
Have a good one.
See you later.
All right. Ciao, ciao.
Bye, guys.